Guys, we got our first major issue with the C63, and I'm gonna fill you guys in real quick, so just bear with me. So you guys already know what to do. Hit that intro. Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you. All right, guys. So let's turn the car on. So it has a super funny idle. It's very bad idle, and a check engine light. Car barely has any power, but it's running. Trying to figure out what it is exactly. Might be the way that's breaking up. It sounds like it might be a misfire. All right, guys. So I did a quick look, and I googled some of the P300 codes. Now, P300 itself is just a misfire code, random cylinder, right? Now, I do have a P301, 302, and 303. Usually on at least with these cars, when they're V8s, that gives precisely which cylinder is actually misfiring. So cylinder 1, 2, and 3 are misfiring. That's the ones that popped up while letting the car idle and start and moving it a little bit, right? Looking up this information, understanding it. All right, I changed the plugs about almost a year ago. I don't have much miles on this car because I didn't drive it that much, right? So, and if it was one cylinder misfiring, it'll be one cylinder misfiring. It wouldn't be the way it is now. So I'm just thinking, all right, it's not the plugs, right? Next thing, all right. Look into some of the causes. It could be a fuel pressure issue. Now, if this car has fuel pressure issues through everything, it'll be all cylinders. The car would have basically no power. So I don't think it's a fuel pump issue or anything like that. All right. Now the next couple things that have me thinking is, when last time I drove the car, it had no issues at all. I parked it and then I started the next day, today. Alright guys, so it is the next day. I haven't started the car yet, but I'm gonna take a look at a couple of things. Alright, so let me just switch the camera around. Still has the same bad idle. I did some research last night too, some more research. So the earlier model 177s, they had a very intermediate problem with the coil packs. So they had a recall on the earlier model 2015, 2016 M177s because they had intermediate or faulty coil packs. Now there's two different serial numbers. There's an old number and then there's a new number. The new number is a 9500 number. So let me just show you guys that that's one process of elimination. 9500. Sees it right there. So I have the newer ignition coil numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. I already looked at all 4. Now also, there was a couple other reasons why this car may be having intermediate faults. Once again, I'm gonna keep saying it like this. Doesn't mean that the coil packs may not need to be changed. That could still be the issue that's causing it. From what I remember, if I'm correct, cylinder order is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have misfire in 1 and 2, and 3 came up, 4 didn't. So that one kind of threw me off a little bit. So it still could be the ignition coil. So I'm gonna do an old school trick. Now if the coil pack is bad, right? Because it's idling really bad right now, right? If the coil pack is bad or it's not working properly, I should be able to unplug the coil pack and it should stop running, or it should turn off completely. If the coil pack is running properly, then it should definitely change the idle. If the coil pack is messing up, right, the idle should remain the same. So I'm gonna unplug this one. It said cylinder 1 and 2. Let's see if we can unplug this one. Give me a second. All right, I unplugged cylinder 1 and 2. Idle exactly the same. Idle's literally the same. So this coil pack is probably dead. All right, we're gonna try 5 and 6. We could also do is just switch those two coil packs to that side and see if it will move from cylinder 1 and 2 to 5 and 6. But we can also just unplug this and see if it makes a change. Give me a second. And the car turned right off. So that coil pack is bad. That coil pack is bad. Alright, so I'm gonna need a new coil pack for this side of the car. So we did a little bit of diagnostic today, right? So I moved the ignition coil for cylinder 1, 2, and 3. Remember, we have codes for 1, 2, and 3. The way that the M177 comes, it has one ignition coil that does 2 cylinders at a time. I ran some fuel trims, and I just wanted to see what the fuel trims might be between both. So it seems that the driver's side, 5 through 8, the fuel trims are perfectly fine. They're not maxed out. Idle is good. But when you go to the excuse me guys, when you go to the passenger side, when I scanned that, guess what happened? Fuel trims were maxed out at 25. Period. Maxed out at 25. Air fuel ratio maxed out. So that lets me know that it's dumping a lot of fuel over there. So that could be a misfire. So it is a misfire. But the misfire can actually either be from, hopefully, ignition coil, which we already tested, and when we unplugged the ignition coil, it didn't cause any change. So the ignition coil still could be bad. Still could be bad. But usually it moves from one side to another, and it didn't do that, which kind of threw me off. And I was like, what? That's weird. Or it could be the spark plugs themselves too. But I changed these spark plugs about 3,000 to 4,000 miles ago, and I don't, even though that the problem didn't move, it could just be one that's just going bad, that's throwing off the whole car, and I would just have to go through it and see which one actually is pretty bad. So that's something I'm gonna have to do soon. The last thing could be just honestly an injector that went bad, but that's not coming up. And hopefully these cars are smart enough to know if the injector is bad, it would say it's bad. So we'll wait and see, but I'm gonna go do some more research and see what I can find. Okay, so this is the first spark plug in cylinder 1, and it looks good to me, guys. Tell me what you think in your experience. Hopefully I zoomed the photo in, but just looks dry. It didn't really smell like fuel, but it looks like a fine injector. I don't really see an issue with this one. All right. So now for cylinder 2, this is cylinder 2. Once again, looks just like cylinder 1. Looks pretty dry, but I don't really see anything wrong with it. Like, I really don't see any issues. So once again, guys, tell me what you think. Now for cylinder 3, look at this one. Yeah, this one looks a lot more beat up, or I don't know what the orange tint actually looks like. I'm gonna look it up quickly, but if you guys could comment below, tell me what you think. But cylinder 3 looks like more of a culprit to me, especially that the electrode is not orange. And cylinder 4 is the one that's black. You can see it has a little bit of that white tint to it. I don't know. That is definitely a misfire, because I noticed that it's not supposed to look like that. Cylinder 4 is not supposed to look like that. So to me, cylinder 4 is probably where the misfire definitely is, because no, that's way off. All right, so can't get the thing fixed, so we're gonna have to try it on the lift. I have not had this car, any of my cars, on a lift because I couldn't fix it. Thank you everybody for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also, on top of that, if you want to purchase some boostinmotion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.